Some stories unfold in daylight, clear, steady, familiar, but others drift quietly beneath the surface of what we see, lingering in the shadows, whispering across the edges of our understanding. Tonight, we step gently into one of those unseen stories, the ancient, ongoing battle of spiritual warfare, the realm of angels, demons, and the quiet clash between darkness and light. The Bible speaks softly of this war, woven through Scripture like a thread both sacred and unsettling. Who are the angels, the messengers, the warriors, the protectors sent from realms beyond? Who are the demons, the fallen, the deceivers, the remnants of rebellion? And how does this invisible battle shape the world around us and within us? As we begin, I wonder, where in the world are you listening from? And what time is it there? Is it morning, evening? The quiet hours of night when the unseen feels closest? I love seeing the different places this small space of reflection reaches. Feel free to share in the comments. Now, let us drift quietly into the story of spiritual warfare, of angels, of demons, and the sacred battle moving softly beyond what we see. The world turns beneath steady skies. Rivers carve quiet paths across forgotten hills. The sun presses its light upon forests, valleys, and cities bustling with the ordinary hum of life. But beneath it all, beneath the rhythm of days and nights, beneath the rise and fall of empires, beneath every whispered prayer and restless heart, another story unfolds. A story older than soil, older than stars. A story few see, yet all are touched by. It is the story of spiritual warfare, the quiet, relentless battle between forces unseen, angels and demons woven through the edges of creation, their presence shaping the fragile balance between light and shadow. Scripture speaks of it softly, yet deliberately. In the beginning, when the earth was formless and empty, when darkness hovered over the deep, there were others present, beings not bound by flesh and bone, but by spirit, by purpose, by the command of the Creator who spoke worlds into being, the angels, messengers of light, servants of the Most High. Their presence hums quietly through the sacred narrative, their wings veiled not always in feathers, but in radiant authority, their voices layered with both tenderness and power. They walk beside prophets, they descend upon trembling shepherds, they sing upon the birth of kings, they wage war where the veil between realms thins, but not all remained. The story fractures with quiet sorrow, the first rebellion, the pride that cracked the heavens, the angels who fell. Scripture speaks of them not merely as lost, but as adversaries, deceivers, tempters, spirits unbound by grace, their presence shifting the course of human history from the shadows. Demons, the fallen, the ancient opposition whose whispers stir within forgotten corners, whose defiance echoes beneath every lie, every fear, every chain wrapped tight around trembling souls. Mary of Magdala had known their weight, the affliction pressing against her mind, the shadows clawing at her spirit, the torment that fractured her days beneath unseen chains. 7 demons, the Scripture says. 7 adversaries tangled within her, their whispers relentless, their grip unyielding. Yet even their presence unraveled beneath love. The healer's voice, steady as dawn, fractured the storm within her, his compassion towering beyond the shadows, his authority silencing what once seemed unbreakable. Her story is not isolated. It hums quietly alongside the greater battle, the sacred war moving beyond sight, angels and demons woven through Scripture, through forgotten rooms, through trembling hearts unsure of the forces pressing close. The Bible does not unfold this war with theatrics. It speaks softly, layered with mystery, with caution. with sacred restraint. We glimpse it in the garden, where the serpent coils, his words laced with deception, his defiance an echo of rebellion far older than Eden's soil. We glimpse it upon the hills of Israel, where angels descend with messages, with warnings, with glimpses of battles raging unseen beyond the stars. We glimpse it in the wilderness, where the enemy tempts the Son of Man, his whispers fierce, his strategies ancient, his defeat inevitable. And we glimpse it within the hearts of those like Mary, the afflicted, the bound, the storm-tossed souls caught within the fragile tension between what is seen and what moves quietly beyond. Spiritual warfare is not merely a clash of armies upon distant fields. It is the hum beneath every choice, the whisper within every temptation, the quiet defiance pressed against every act of faith. The angels, they protect, they guide, they fight beyond the boundaries of human sight. The demons, they deceive, they twist, they press upon the fractures of the soul. And yet, love remains taller still. The Creator, whose hand shapes both spirit and soil, commands the story beyond the war, his presence unshaken, his authority stretching beyond shadow, beyond rebellion, beyond the quiet, relentless hum of opposition. Mary's giants fell beneath that love, her chains shattered, the shadows within her silenced not by force alone, but by the unwavering compassion of the one whose authority bends both visible and invisible alike. So too, the story of angels and demons, of spiritual warfare, unfolds not merely as a tale of fear, but as a sacred invitation to remember. The battle may rage unseen, but it is never untethered from hope. And as we wander deeper into the quiet spaces where this unseen war unfolds, we do so not in fear, but in reverence, in wonder, and in the steady remembrance that beyond every shadow, every adversary, every whisper of darkness, light endures. The battle beyond sight has always been there, woven into the fabric of time, stitched between the dawn and dusk of every generation. Yet, so often, the world hums unaware. People rise, they work, they love, they stumble. Their days marked by the tangible, stone and soil, joy and sorrow, beginnings and inevitable ends. But beyond the visible, the ancient war presses on, quiet yet relentless. The scriptures whisper of it with reverence, with caution. In the heavens, long before humanity traced its first steps across the soil of Eden, there was peace, a harmony woven between creator and creation, between spirit and purpose, between the song of angels and the vast, quiet expanse of glory unbroken. But even among the radiant, the proud heart stirred. Scripture speaks softly, but deliberately, of the rebellion that cracked the perfection of the heavens, a defiance born not of weakness, but of pride, of the longing to ascend beyond what was given, of the refusal to bow to the one who shaped the stars. Lucifer, the morning star, whose beauty once reflected the splendor of the divine, whose voice once rose among the choirs of heaven, faltered beneath the weight of his own pride. His fall was swift, yet echoes still. I will ascend, the scriptures record. His words layered with both longing and rebellion, his defiance tearing through the fabric of eternity. Cast down, stripped of radiance, his name twisted into the adversary, the accuser, the deceiver, the one who wars not merely with armies, but with hearts, with whispers, with the unseen fractures that linger within the soul. Mary of Magdala had known those fractures, the spaces within her spirit once tangled with chains of torment, the shadows that coiled quiet and unseen, their presence vast, their grip suffocating. 7 demons. 7 reminders that spiritual warfare does not always unfold upon distant fields, but within trembling minds, within broken hearts, within the fragile architecture of the human soul. Yet even the oldest adversary, the deceiver whose rebellion fractured the heavens, cannot eclipse the hand of the Creator. For every fall, there is redemption. For every shadow, light presses in. The angels, still loyal, still radiant, still fierce with purpose, walk the unseen edges of the world, messengers and warriors, their wings veiled in mystery, their presence stitched into the quiet spaces where human frailty meets divine intervention. They descend upon shepherds in fields, their voices layered with peace, their message of hope splitting the night. They stand beside prophets trembling beneath the weight of vision, their radiance steady, their words anchored in heaven's authority. They battle within realms unseen, their swords wielded not merely in myth, but in sacred defiance of the darkness that presses too close. And in the wilderness, the enemy tempts the Son of Man, his whispers ancient, his strategies polished by time, his defiance desperate. But the wilderness holds no dominion over the one who shaped the wilderness itself. Jesus, steady, unshaken, fractures every lie with the simplicity of truth, his words layered with quiet authority, his presence unmoved by the ancient war pressing against him. Mary's own wilderness had once been vast, a storm within, shadows without, chains wrapped tight around every fragile corner of her mind. But her healer came. His voice silenced the torment. His love shattered the storm. The battle within her ended not with thunder, but with the quiet, steady unraveling of fear beneath compassion, fierce enough to command even the unseen. So too, the war beyond sight unfolds, quiet, relentless, woven through the spaces between what is seen and what is believed. Angels and demons press close, their presence layered through scripture, their influence humming beneath history, their battle shaping the fragile balance between light and shadow. But beyond them both, the Creator remains, his authority unmoved, his love unbroken, his presence stretching beyond rebellion, beyond defiance, beyond the ancient hum of spiritual warfare that ripples through every unseen space. And as we wander deeper into their story, into the quiet clash between angels and demons, between seen and unseen, we carry this truth, that the battle may rage, but the victory was never in question. The world moves forward, steady in its rhythms, sunrise spilling gold upon the hills, waves pressing gently against ancient shores, voices weaving through crowded streets as life unfolds, ordinary and unaware. Yet beneath that hum of the visible, the quiet war continues, spiritual warfare, unseen yet unyielding, its presence woven through scripture, its echoes pressed into the fragile corners of every soul. The Bible speaks of it gently, layered with both reverence and warning. Angels and demons, the faithful and the fallen, locked in a struggle far older than time itself, their influence shaping the course of history, their battle humming quietly beneath every trembling prayer, every whispered doubt, every defiant act of faith. Mary of Magdala had once lived beneath that battle, her spirit fractured by torment, her mind chained by forces unseen, her life tangled in a storm few could witness, yet all could feel. 7 demons clung to her, their whispers pressing against her thoughts, their grip unrelenting, their defiance etched deep within the walls of her soul. But even in her storm, even in the quiet ache of unseen chains, love pressed closer. The healer came, not with shouts of condemnation, but with quiet authority, his voice steady, his presence unwavering, his compassion vast enough to shatter even the fiercest of shadows. The demons within her fell, their defiance fractured by love, their presence silenced beneath the weight of divine mercy. But Mary's story, though personal, reflects the greater war, the ancient sacred clash that moves through Scripture, that shapes the unseen spaces between heaven and earth. The angels, radiant in purpose, descend with messages of hope, with protection fierce enough to silence even the boldest of adversaries. We see them walk beside the faithful, guiding, guarding, warring in realms beyond sight. They visit Abraham beneath the oaks of Mamre, their presence both ordinary and layered with mystery, their words shaping the future of nations. They stand beside Daniel in the lion's den, their authority unmoved by the growls of beasts, their protection steady beneath the hum of impending death. They descend upon Bethlehem, their voices splitting the stillness of night, their song carrying the announcement of a love fierce enough to rewrite the world. But the fallen linger too. The demons, the deceivers, the remnants of rebellion, press close in the quiet spaces where fear festers, where temptation coils, where the unseen war rages most. They twist truth into lies, their whispers ancient, their defiance subtle, their strategies crafted not in thunder, but in the gentle unraveling of trust. The serpent in the garden spoke not with force, but with questions, seeds of doubt planted within fragile hearts, their roots pressing deep, their blossoms fracturing the innocence of Eden. And so the war stretches on, not merely in distant realms, but within trembling souls, within every whispered prayer, within every defiant stand for what is good, true, and holy. The Scriptures remind us our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against rulers, against authorities, against the powers of this dark world, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Yet the story does not bend beneath fear. For every adversary, there is an advocate. For every shadow, a light unwavering. For every whisper of defiance, a promise louder still. Mary's chains shattered not beneath her strength, but beneath the authority of the one who commands both seen and unseen. The angels walk still, their wings veiled, their presence steady, their purpose woven through the quiet spaces where the battle hums. The demons press still, their whispers lingering, their strategies ancient, but their defeat inevitable. And beyond them both, the Creator stands, his love unbroken, his hand unmoved, his authority stretching beyond shadow, beyond rebellion, beyond the ancient clash woven through both spirit and soil. As we follow the story deeper, as we wander gently through the sacred mystery of angels and demons, of spiritual warfare beyond sight, we carry this truth. The battle is real, but love stands victorious, quiet and eternal, beyond every storm, beyond every shadow. The world carries its quiet scars, rivers carving deep along ancient stone, valleys pressed low by forgotten storms, ruins standing as fragile reminders of battles long past. But not all battles leave marks upon the earth. Some wars unfold beyond soil and time, their echoes humming softly beneath the surface of what we see, their presence shaping the unseen edges of human history. Spiritual warfare. Angels and demons entangled in a conflict older than kingdoms, older than words, older than the hills themselves. Scripture speaks of it gently, layered with caution, with reverence. The angels, radiant and fierce, stand as messengers, as warriors, as protectors sent from realms beyond sight. They walk beside trembling prophets. They descend upon fields wrapped in night. They shield the faithful from shadows pressing close. Yet the fallen linger too. Deceivers, adversaries, the remnants of rebellion, their whispers woven through the fabric of the world, their presence subtle yet relentless. Mary of Magdala had carried that presence within her. The storm of affliction, the chains of unseen torment, the voices that press sharp against the walls of her mind, their defiance layered with both power and desperation. 7 demons coiled within her, their grip suffocating, their influence etched deep into her spirit. But the healer came, his authority unshaken, his love vast, his presence bending even the fiercest of storms toward silence. Mary's chains fractured, her torment unraveled, her soul steadied beneath the quiet, relentless hand of compassion. Her freedom became a living reminder that the unseen battle is not merely for nations or kingdoms, but for hearts, for every trembling soul caught between shadow and light. Across Scripture, the battle unfolds softly, its presence laced through familiar stories, its reality shaping the fragile line between seen and unseen. In the wilderness, Jesus faces the adversary, the deceiver pressing close, his words ancient, his strategies polished by time, his defiance rooted in pride older than soil. Yet even there, amidst hunger and solitude, truth stands taller. The Son of Man silences every lie, his words layered with Scripture, his resolve anchored in authority, his victory unfolding not with force, but with quiet, unwavering faith. The angels arrive, ministering, strengthening, their presence a gentle reminder that the faithful are never truly alone in the wilderness. The Psalms whisper of this unseen protection. The angels commanded concerning you, to guard you in all your ways, to lift you up, to steady your steps when the shadows press too close. And in the Garden of Gethsemane, as the weight of the cross looms near, as sorrow folds heavy upon the shoulders of the one who carries the story of redemption itself, the angels descend once more, strengthening, steadying, their presence unseen by the world, yet woven into the quiet defiance of love. The demons press close too, their whispers fueling betrayal, their presence tangled in the storm unraveling in Jerusalem, their defiance bold yet destined to fracture. For even the oldest rebellion cannot eclipse the unfolding of love fierce enough to bleed for the weary, to die for the broken, to rise for the bound. Mary's story reflects that same tension. Shadows pressing close, chains heavy, but love towering taller still. Her freedom does not erase the battle, but it humbles the adversary. It silences the storm. It anchors her soul to the presence of the one who commands both spirit and soil. Spiritual warfare is not mere metaphor. It hums quietly beneath every trembling prayer, every act of defiant faith, every whisper of doubt pressed against the fragile edges of belief. The angels still walk, their wings veiled, their purpose steady, their presence fierce yet layered with compassion. The demons still lurk, their whispers ancient, their strategies subtle, their defiance persistent yet destined to fracture. And beyond them both, the Creator remains, his authority unmoved, his love unbroken, his story unfolding beyond rebellion, beyond fear, beyond even the oldest clash etched into the unseen spaces of creation. As we follow this story deeper, we do so not in fear, but with reverence, with heart steady, with wonder anchored beyond shadow, with a quiet reminder that love commands the final word, even in the oldest war the world has ever known. The oldest wars are not always marked by banners or battlefields. Some drift quietly beneath the surface, their movements subtle, their consequences vast, their stories woven into the fragile space between seen and unseen. Spiritual warfare is such a war, the relentless, unseen clash between angels and demons, between the radiant faithful and the fallen adversaries, their presence pressed into the sacred pages of Scripture, their influence echoing softly through the corridors of human history. The Bible whispers of this battle with reverence. In the beginning, before soil bore fruit, Before rivers carved their winding paths, before the breath of life filled human lungs, there was harmony, spirit aligned with purpose, creation humming beneath the steady hand of the divine. But pride fractured that harmony. The morning star, radiant in form, rebelled. His longing to ascend, to rival the Most High, bent beauty into defiance, turning light into shadow, turning worship into war. Cast down, stripped of his former glory, Lucifer became the adversary, the deceiver, the one who whispers lies sharp enough to fracture even the strongest foundations. His fall was not solitary. The scriptures speak of others, angels who joined his defiance, their rebellion unraveling into darkness, their presence now shaping the unseen edges of the world. Demons, the fallen, the deceivers, the tormentors, woven through the background of every trembling soul, their strategies ancient, their influence subtle yet fierce. Mary of Magdala had carried their presence within her, 7 demons, their grip suffocating, their whispers relentless, their defiance etched deep into the fragile corners of her spirit. But even their presence fractured beneath the hand of love. The healer came. His authority towered beyond shadow. His voice silenced the storm. His compassion shattered the chains once bound tight around her soul. Her freedom reflected the greater story, the sacred reminder that the battle, though unseen, bends inevitably toward victory. Across Scripture, the war continues. Angels stand guard upon the edges of human frailty. They protect, they guide, they minister to the weary, their presence veiled in mystery yet steady, their loyalty fierce, their purpose woven into the sacred fabric of redemption itself. The Psalms declare their presence, a shield for the faithful, wings stretched over trembling hearts, protection layered through every storm. Yet the fallen press close too. The adversary prowls, his whispers sharp, his defiance ancient, his hunger woven not for soil, but for the soul. His strategies twist truth into doubt, his presence pressing against the cracks within belief, his lies designed not with force, but with subtle, relentless unraveling. In the wilderness, Jesus stands, a figure cloaked in humanity, his hunger real, his weariness layered with the weight of redemption. The adversary arrives, not with armies, but with whispers, his words crafted to fracture trust, his lies polished by pride older than the earth itself. But Jesus, steady, unmoved, silences every deception with truth. Scripture is his shield, his faith unbroken, his authority bending even the oldest adversary toward inevitable defeat. Mary's chains fractured beneath that same authority, her affliction shattered not by her strength, but by love that towers beyond rebellion, by compassion fierce enough to silence the echoes of the ancient fall. The angels walk still, the demons lurk still, the battle rages beyond sight, its hum present in every whispered prayer, in every moment of defiant faith, in every trembling act of hope pressed against the shadows. But beyond the clash of unseen forces, the Creator stands, his hand unmoved, his authority unshaken, his love woven deeper than fear, older than rebellion, taller than even the proudest adversary. Spiritual warfare is real, its presence subtle, its consequences vast. But love commands the final word. And as we wander deeper into the sacred tension of angels and demons, of unseen wars older than time, we do so not to glorify fear, but to remember the shadows stretch, but light endures, unwavering, eternal, victorious. The ancient war hums beneath every moment of stillness, its edges woven through forgotten valleys, its echoes lingering behind quiet prayers, its tension pressed into the fragile fabric of the human soul. Spiritual warfare is not loud. It moves softly, relentlessly. like a distant storm curling along the horizon, like whispers carried upon winds older than time itself. Angels and demons, the faithful and the fallen, their presence layered through scripture, their stories intertwined with the unfolding of creation, their battle older than language, yet never confined to distant realms alone. Mary of Magdala had lived within that storm, the unseen clash of darkness and light pressing close, her mind fractured by torment, her spirit bound by chains veiled from the world, her soul tangled in the storm of 7 demons, whose whispers silenced peace, whose grip unraveled hope. Yet love arrived. The healer stepped into her shadows, not with force, but with quiet, unwavering authority. His words shattered the storm. His compassion silenced the torment. His presence towered beyond the defiance etched into her spirit. Her freedom stood as both miracle and metaphor, the living reminder that spiritual warfare, though unseen, is real, and its outcome, though contested, leans always toward redemption. The scriptures unfold the same truth softly. The angels descend upon trembling prophets, their presence layered with radiance and purpose. They deliver messages laced with hope. They shield the faithful from harm. They wage battles fierce and unseen in realms beyond mortal sight. In the book of Daniel, we glimpse this war, the prophet fasting, praying, longing for understanding, his words carried upon the winds of the divine, his plea reaching into the unseen. Yet his answer delayed. The angel arrives, his message wrapped in reverence, his words unveiling the hidden struggle. The prince of the Persian kingdom resisted me 21 days, he declares, his battle against spiritual opposition fierce, his victory steady, but hard won. Michael, the archangel, the protector of Israel, intervenes, his authority pressing beyond resistance, his presence fracturing the opposition, his loyalty layered with both ferocity and sacred purpose. The war unfolds not in thunder, but in persistence, in the quiet defiance of faith, in the steady unraveling of unseen chains, in the unwavering march of angels carrying the will of the Creator across realms woven through both spirit and soil. Yet the fallen remain. The adversary, ancient and relentless, presses close, his whispers subtle, his strategies crafted not with chaos, but with deception, with the quiet distortion of truth into fear, of faith into doubt, of peace into unraveling. Mary's torment reflected that tension, the storm within her vast, her chains unyielding, her affliction layered with both suffering and spiritual defiance. But even the oldest rebellion fractures beneath love. The healer's hand silences the adversary, his voice commands peace. His presence presses beyond the ancient war, anchoring the soul to hope unbroken. Across time the battle hums still. The angels walk quietly among us, their wings veiled, their protection steady, their authority woven into the fabric of unseen realms. The demons linger, their whispers ancient, their hunger for destruction persistent, their downfall inevitable. And the Creator remains, his love unmoved, his authority stretching beyond shadow, beyond defiance, beyond even the fiercest clash of unseen forces. The war is real, but victory is steady. The giants fall, the chains fracture, the adversary recoils, and love rises taller still. As we follow the story deeper into the sacred mystery of spiritual warfare, we do so with both caution and courage, remembering always that though the shadows stretch, they never stretch farther than the hand of the one who commands both the seen and the unseen. The battle continues quietly, beneath the hum of ordinary life, the clash of light and shadow woven through city streets, whispered across quiet homes, pressed into the hidden spaces, where human hearts wrestle with doubt and longing. Spiritual warfare does not always announce itself. It moves softly, relentlessly, its presence veiled yet steady, its influence shaping the fragile boundaries of choice and belief. Scriptures speak gently, yet deliberately, of this sacred, unsettling war, of angels fierce in loyalty, veiled in radiance, their wings woven with purpose, their voices layered with the authority of the divine. They stand upon distant hills, beside trembling prophets, their presence anchoring the weary, their message bending even the darkest nights toward hope. Yet not all spirits remain faithful. The fallen move quietly too. The adversary, ancient and proud, his whispers drifting across the edges of human thought, his defiance etched into the spaces where trust fractures, where fear coils, where peace unravels. Mary of Magdala carried those whispers within her, the storm of affliction woven into her soul, the weight of unseen chains pressing against every fragile breath. 7 demons haunted her spirit, their grip suffocating, their presence tangled with torment layered beyond human sight. But the healer arrived, not with force, but with the quiet, steady authority of love older than rebellion, fiercer than shadows, taller than the defiance that once gripped her soul. His voice silenced the torment, his hand shattered the chains, his compassion stretched beyond the storm. Her freedom echoed a truth older than soil, the truth that spiritual warfare, though fierce, does not write the final word. Across Scripture, the battle hums, the angels warring beyond sight, their protection layered through trembling hearts, their loyalty bending even the oldest adversaries toward defeat. In Revelation, we glimpse the clash upon cosmic scales, the dragon, ancient and proud, warring in heaven, his defiance sharp, his downfall inevitable. Michael, the archangel, leads the charge, his presence steady, his authority stretching beyond the lies of the serpent, beyond the whispers of rebellion. The dragon falls, the accuser cast down. The heavens rejoice, yet the earth hums with the quiet tension of a war unfinished. The adversary presses close still, his time short, his defiance desperate, his strategies refined by pride older than time. Yet even in the shadowed corners of human history, the Creator's hand remains unmoved. Mary's story reflects that defiant hope. The chains of torment shattered, her spirit steady, her life rewritten by love fierce enough to silence the ancient battle raging within. The angels stand still, ministering to the weary, protecting the faithful, warring in realms unseen, their loyalty fierce, their compassion veiled yet constant. The demons linger too, deceivers, adversaries, their presence layered with defiance, their hunger tangled with pride, their downfall written upon the very bones of creation. Yet beyond them both, the Creator commands the story, the sacred, quiet reminder that no rebellion eclipses his purpose, no shadow stretches beyond his reach, no storm fractures what his love has steadied. Spiritual warfare unfolds not only upon battlefields, but within every trembling soul, within the quiet corners of every heart pressed between fear and faith. But victory hums steady beneath the war, the angels walking, the adversary recoiling, the story bending toward redemption, toward peace, toward love that stands taller than every unseen adversary. As we wander deeper into this sacred clash, we do so not with fear, but with wonder, with reverence for the quiet, relentless hand of heaven that commands even the fiercest battle beyond sight, toward inevitable victory. The world breathes, the seasons shift, the tides pull gently upon distant shores, and beneath it all, the battle hums quietly, steady, unseen. Spiritual warfare does not always thunder across the hills or unravel the earth beneath trembling feet. It weaves through the spaces between moments, presses close in the silence, moves softly within every whispered prayer, every fractured thought, every choice pulled between light and shadow. Angels and demons, the faithful and the fallen, their presence stretches beyond distant myths, beyond faded scripture, beyond the fragile boundaries of what we see, their influence layered through the unseen spaces of creation itself. The Bible unfolds their story with quiet reverence. The angels, radiant in loyalty, veiled in mystery, their voices woven with both tenderness and authority, descend upon trembling souls, protecting, guiding, warring when the shadows press too near. Yet not all remain faithful. The adversary, ancient in pride, sharp in defiance, lingers still. His whispers drift softly through the fractures of human hearts, his lies layered with subtlety, his strategies crafted not with chaos alone, but with the quiet unraveling of trust. Mary of Magdala carried those lies within her, the storm of affliction wrapped tight around her spirit, the weight of 7 demons haunting her mind, their whispers suffocating, their grip unrelenting. But even in a storm, love pressed closer. The healer stepped into her shadows, not with condemnation, but with compassion fierce enough to fracture every unseen chain, to silence the adversaries tangled within her soul. His authority towered beyond rebellion, his presence steady, his love bending the ancient battle toward peace. Her freedom reflects the greater truth, the story unfolding quietly beyond the visible, the sacred war humming beneath the soil of every life. The scriptures whisper of that war, the angels warring beyond sight, their protection layered through the trembling prayers of the weary, their loyalty pressing back the oldest adversaries with quiet, relentless defiance. Daniel's vision unveils the hidden struggle. The angel delayed, opposition fierce, the battle in the heavenly realm stretching across days and nights. Yet victory pressing onward, inevitable, steady. The adversary prowls still, his hunger tangled with pride, his whispers ancient, his downfall certain. His lies fracture the edges of belief, his presence pressing upon the fractures of human longing. His strategies refined across generations of quiet defiance. Yet even his rebellion bends beneath the hand of the Creator. Mary's chains shattered, her affliction unraveled, her spirit steadied beneath love unbroken. Across the hills of Israel, upon distant battlefields, through forgotten cities and unseen realms, the war hummed still. But its outcome was never in question. The angels stand, their wings veiled, their swords layered with divine authority, their loyalty fierce, their protection steady beyond what eyes can measure. The demons linger, their presence defiant, their whispers persistent, their fall inevitable. The Creator commands both seen and unseen, his love stretching beyond shadow, his authority towering beyond rebellion, his story pressing every battle, every storm, toward redemption. Spiritual warfare moves softly, relentlessly, its edges woven through the quiet corners of the soul, its consequences vast, its victory certain. Mary's story reminds us, the adversary defies, but love stands taller. The giants rise, but faith unravels fear. The chains bind, but compassion fractures every lie. And as we follow the ancient story deeper, tracing the sacred clash between angels and demons, between shadow and light, we carry this truth, that the war, though fierce, humbles beneath love, and love remains, unwavering, eternal, victorious. The earth turns quietly, its surface etched with forgotten footprints, its hills layered with ancient stones, Its skies stretched wide over cities pulsing with life. But beneath it all, the battle moves, softly, steadily, hidden beneath the hum of ordinary days. Spiritual warfare, the clash between angels and demons, between seen and unseen, between the radiant loyal and the ancient fallen, their presence woven into the fragile spaces where faith and fear wrestle, where light and shadow stretch against one another. The scriptures whisper of this sacred tension, not with spectacle, but with reverence, their words layered with caution, their message steady as the dawn. The angels stand upon the edges of every trembling story, their loyalty fierce, their protection veiled, their purpose shaped by the hand of the Creator. They descend beside prophets shaken by vision. They minister to the weary, their voices carrying both peace and quiet authority, their swords pressed against the boundaries where shadow strains to press near. But the fallen walk those edges too. The adversary moves not always with thunder, but with subtlety. His whispers ancient, his strategies polished by rebellion, his hunger tangled with pride too vast to yield easily. Mary of Magdala carried those whispers within her, the storm of affliction gnawing at her spirit, the shadows pressing sharp against her mind, the weight of 7 demons tangled through her soul, their presence relentless, their grip suffocating. Her life became a quiet battlefield, the ancient war unraveling not upon distant fields, but within the fragile walls of her own heart. But even there, love pressed closer still. The healer stepped into her shadows, not with force, but with compassion fierce enough to fracture unseen chains, with authority vast enough to silence the ancient defiance woven through her storm. His presence towered beyond the whispers of rebellion. His voice shattered the storm. His love anchored her spirit to peace that could not be undone. Across Scripture, the story repeats, the angels warring beyond sight, their protection steady, their authority bending even the oldest adversaries toward inevitable defeat. In Revelation, the battle rises to its cosmic crescendo. The dragon, ancient in pride, fierce in defiance, waging war against the faithful, his strategies rooted in deception, his downfall inevitable. Michael, the archangel, stands unwavering, his presence steady, his authority etched in the quiet defiance of loyalty unbroken. The heavens fracture, the dragon cast down, the adversary recoiling beneath the weight of inevitable defeat. Yet the shadows linger still. The fallen press close, their presence subtle, their whispers tangled with both fear and pride, their downfall written, but their defiance unrelenting. Mary's chains shattered beneath the same authority, the healer's hand pressing beyond rebellion, his love anchoring her spirit beyond the storm, his compassion bending even the fiercest adversaries toward peace. The battle hums still, not only upon forgotten hills, but within trembling hearts, within the quiet moments where faith wrestles with fear, where trust strains against the subtle whispers of doubt. Spiritual warfare moves quietly, its edges layered through every choice, every whispered prayer, every trembling act of defiant belief. The angels walk still, their loyalty fierce, their protection woven through the fragile fabric of unseen realms, their presence steady even when hidden from sight. The demons linger, their strategies ancient, their lies refined, their fall inevitable. The Creator commands both spirit and soil, his authority unmoved, his love stretched beyond rebellion, his story bending every shadow toward the dawn. The war humbles beneath love. The chains fracture, the giants fall, the adversary recoils. And as we trace the story deeper, as we follow the quiet echoes of the sacred clash between angels and demons, we carry this truth. The battle may press close, but the ending was always known. The story of the unseen war continues, not with grand declarations, but with the quiet hum beneath every breath, with the subtle tension pressed into the fragile corners of every life. Spiritual warfare does not always rise with the sound of battle cries. It unfolds softly, relentlessly, woven through the spaces where human hearts strain beneath shadow, where faith and fear wrestle in silence. Angels and demons, the faithful and the fallen, their presence etched into the background of Scripture, their influence bending the world's edges beyond what eyes can measure. The Scriptures speak with reverence of their clash, their loyalty, their defiance. The angels descend quietly, their wings veiled, their purpose steady, their authority layered with both tenderness and the fierce protection of the divine. They stand beside the weary, they deliver messages sharp with truth, their hands pressing gently against the boundaries where darkness coils too near, but not all remain loyal. The fallen linger still, the adversary prowling, his pride ancient, his whispers crafted to twist longing into rebellion, his defiance woven through the quiet fractures of the human spirit. Mary of Magdala carried those fractures within her, the shadows pressing heavy upon her soul, the torment layered through her mind, the weight of 7 demons tangled in the fragile places where light once lived. Her life reflected the ancient war, the storm within her not merely of flesh and sorrow, but of spirit and shadow, of adversaries unseen and chains wrapped tight around hope. But love stepped into her storm. The healer came, not with condemnation, but with compassion fierce enough to shatter unseen chains, with authority vast enough to silence the ancient rebellion clawing at her soul. His voice pressed beyond the lies. His presence fractured the storm. His love steadied her spirit beneath peace unbroken. Across Scripture, the battle hums, the angels warring beyond sight, their loyalty fierce, their presence steady, their radiance woven through the quiet unraveling of fear. They guard the faithful, they strengthen the weary, they carry messages layered with promise, their wings brushing against the trembling edges of human frailty. The fallen press close too, the adversary crafting lies, twisting truth, bending longing toward pride, his defiance ancient, his downfall inevitable. The wilderness reveals his strategies, the Son of Man alone and weary, his hunger real, his humanity exposed, yet his spirit unmoved. The adversary whispers, not with force, but with questions sharp enough to fracture the fragile boundaries of trust. Yet Jesus stands steady, his words layered with Scripture, his resolve rooted in truth, his authority bending even the oldest adversary toward silence. The angels arrive, their presence veiled yet constant, their strength layered through every trembling moment, their protection pressing beyond sight. Mary's chains shattered beneath that same authority, her affliction unraveled by love steady enough to silence the storm, by compassion fierce enough to fracture ancient defiance. Her story became more than freedom. It became a reflection of the greater battle bending beyond rebellion toward redemption. Spiritual warfare hums through every trembling prayer, through every defiant act of belief, through the unseen spaces where angels war and adversaries recoil. The Creator remains unmoved, his authority layered with peace, his love stretched beyond shadow, his story bending the ancient clash toward victory certain and unbroken. The angels stand, the demons fall. The war hums still, its presence subtle, its outcome unshaken. And as we follow the echoes deeper into the sacred story of angels, demons, and the quiet war beyond sight, we carry this unwavering truth. The battle may unfold unseen, but love commands the final word. The world often moves unaware, caught in the steady rhythm of sunrises and quiet nights, of moments measured by minutes, of ordinary days unfolding as though only the scene shapes reality. But beneath that surface hums a story older than kingdoms, older than soil, a story of spiritual warfare, of angels and demons entangled in a battle woven beyond sight, pressed into the sacred tension between fear and faith. The scriptures unveil this story with quiet reverence. The angels, radiant in loyalty, veiled in mystery, their presence layered with both tenderness and authority, their purpose carved into the unfolding of creation itself. They arrive not with spectacle, but with strength unspoken. They guard the faithful, their wings pressing gently against trembling hearts, their voices layered with the steady unraveling of fear. They descend beside prophets weighed down by vision, their message etched with promise, their loyalty fierce beneath the hand of the Creator. But the fallen drift close as well. The adversary prowls, the deceiver ancient and proud, his whispers layered with rebellion, his defiance woven into the quiet fractures of longing. His lies crafted not with thunder, but with subtle distortion, bending truth into doubt, pressing shadows across the edges of belief. Mary of Magdala lived within those shadows. The storm tangled through her mind, the torment sharp against her soul, the grip of 7 demons layered with both affliction and ancient defiance. Her life reflected the fragile space where spiritual warfare presses not only across forgotten battlefields, but within trembling hearts, where the unseen battle hums through every act of defiant faith, every whispered prayer strained beneath the weight of unseen chains. But love stepped into her storm. The healer came, not with condemnation, but with compassion fierce enough to fracture defiance, with authority vast enough to silence the whispers clawing at her spirit. His voice unraveled the lies, his presence shattered the storm, his love steadied her soul beneath peace unbroken. Across scripture the war hums, the angels pressing against the boundaries of darkness, their loyalty unwavering, their protection woven through realms beyond sight. In Revelation, the dragon falls, the ancient adversary cast down, his pride fractured, his defiance yielding beneath the quiet, relentless unfolding of redemption. Yet the shadows linger still. The fallen press close, their strategies sharpened by rebellion, their whispers tangled with fear, their downfall inevitable. The wilderness reveals their hunger, the Son of Man tempted, his humanity exposed, yet his resolve unmoved. The adversary speaks with ancient defiance, his lies crafted to fracture trust, his presence pressing against the fragile edges of obedience. Yet Jesus stands steady, his words layered with truth, his authority unbroken, his victory bending even the oldest rebellion toward silence. The angels arrive, their presence veiled, their strength steady, their protection layered with quiet sacred defiance. Mary's freedom reflects the same unfolding. The chains shattered, the storm dissolved, the ancient whispers silenced beneath the authority of love fierce enough to command even the unseen. Spiritual warfare does not always rise with thunder. It unfolds softly, relentlessly, through the quiet spaces of the soul, through the choices pressed between light and shadow, through every trembling heart anchored in defiant belief. The angels stand, their loyalty etched into creation, their presence steady even when hidden from sight. The demons linger, their defiance persistent, their lies layered with pride, their fall certain. The Creator commands both spirit and soil, his love towering beyond rebellion, his story bending the ancient war toward redemption unwavering. The giants fall, the chains fracture, the adversary recoils, and as we wander deeper into this unseen battle, tracing the quiet clash between angels and demons, between shadow and light, we carry this truth. The war hums quietly, but love rises taller still. The earth rests beneath quiet skies, its hills stretched wide with stories forgotten, its fields humming with life both seen and unseen. But woven through that stillness presses the ancient war, the subtle, relentless hum of spiritual warfare, older than stone, older than breath, stitched into the fragile architecture of creation itself. The clash between angels and demons, between the loyal and the fallen, between the radiant faithful who walk unseen beside trembling souls, and the ancient adversaries whose defiance lingers in the hidden fractures of the world. The scriptures whisper of their battle with reverence, the angels descending not in spectacle, but in strength veiled and steady, their voices layered with promise, their presence shaping the spaces between what is seen and what stirs quietly beyond sight. They walk beside prophets trembling with vision. They arrive with messages etched in the hope of heaven, their wings pressed against the edges of human frailty, their purpose woven into the unfolding of redemption itself. But the fallen press, close still. The adversary lingers, ancient and proud, his whispers sharpened by rebellion, his lies crafted with subtle distortion, his hunger bent not merely upon soil, but upon the fragile boundaries of belief. Mary of Magdala carried those whispers within her. The storm of affliction wrapped tight around her mind, the weight of 7 demons tangled through her spirit, their defiance relentless, their grip suffocating. Her life reflected the sacred war moving quietly beyond what is seen, the battle unfolding not upon distant fields, but within trembling hearts caught between shadow and light. But love came. The healer stepped into her storm, not with condemnation, but with compassion fierce enough to shatter chains unseen, with authority vast enough to silence the ancient defiance pressing upon her soul. His voice fractured the lies, his presence unraveled the torment, his love steadied her spirit beneath peace unbroken. Across scripture, the story hums. The angels warring in realms beyond mortal vision, their swords veiled, their strength steady, their protection layered through every trembling moment where faith strains against fear. The adversary prowls still, his whispers ancient, his pride tangled in deception, his downfall inevitable, his presence persistent. In the wilderness, the Son of Man stands, the enemy pressing close, his lies subtle, his hunger for defiance sharpened across time. But Jesus does not falter, his words anchored in truth, his authority unmoved, his presence bending even the oldest adversary toward inevitable silence. The angels arrive, their protection steady, their loyalty woven through every trembling breath, their presence quiet yet fierce. Mary's chains dissolve beneath the same authority, the storm within her unraveling beneath love unshaken, her soul anchored beyond the defiance once tangled through her mind. The spiritual war hums through every whispered prayer, every choice strained between light and shadow, every act of belief pressed against the unseen edges of fear. The angels walk, their radiance hidden, their purpose unwavering, their loyalty fierce enough to press back even the ancient adversaries woven through rebellion. The demons linger, their lies persistent, their hunger veiled in pride, their fall certain. The Creator remains unshaken, his love older than shadows, his authority bending every storm, his story stretching beyond defiance toward redemption unwavering. Spiritual warfare unfolds not merely upon forgotten hills, but within every trembling soul. The chains fracture, the giants fall, the adversary recoils, and as we trace the quiet echoes of this sacred clash, we carry this truth. The war hums beneath the surface, but love commands the final word. The ancient war lingers still, humming beneath the surface of the world, woven quietly through the spaces where light bends against shadow, where faith strains against unseen adversaries, where souls carry battles few around them ever see. Spiritual warfare does not always announce itself with thunder or spectacle. It presses close in the silent places, in the corners of weary hearts, in the fragile pauses between joy and fear, in the quiet moments when belief feels fragile, yet defiant. Angels and demons, the faithful and the fallen, their presence layered through Scripture, their influence shaping the unseen boundaries of creation itself. The angels descend with purpose, their loyalty fierce, their protection steady, their presence bending the edges of fear away from trembling souls anchored to hope. Their wings veiled, their radiance hidden, their authority layered with the quiet, unwavering strength of the divine. But the fallen drift close too, the adversary proud and ancient, his whispers sharpened by rebellion, his lies woven into the fractures of human longing, his presence subtle yet unrelenting. Mary of Magdala carried those whispers within her, the storm coiled tight around her soul, the weight of 7 demons pressing sharp against her mind, their grip suffocating, their defiance woven through every trembling breath. Her life reflected the war, unfolding not upon distant battlefields, but within the quiet spaces of her own spirit, where unseen chains tangled with fear, where shadows pressed too near, where hope strained beneath the relentless hum of ancient adversaries. But love stepped into her storm. The healer came, not with condemnation, but with compassion fierce enough to fracture unseen chains, with authority vast enough to silence defiance, with presence steady enough to anchor her soul beyond the storm. His voice unraveled the whispers. His hands shattered the torment. His love pressed beyond rebellion. His authority stretching taller than every ancient adversary tangled through her life. Across Scripture, the story hums. The angels warring beyond sight, their protection layered through trembling moments, their loyalty bending the battle toward inevitable peace. In Revelation, the dragon falls, the ancient adversary recoiling beneath the authority of the Creator, his pride fractured, his downfall declared, his defiance silenced. Yet the battle lingers, the fallen pressing close, their lies persistent, their whispers sharp, their hunger tangled in pride too vast to yield easily. But even their rebellion fractures beneath the steady hand of love. Mary's chains shattered beneath that authority. The storm unraveled, the adversary silenced, the weight of affliction dissolved beneath compassion fierce enough to quiet even the oldest war. The angels still walk, their wings hidden, their purpose steady, their protection pressed gently against the spaces where faith strains against fear. The demons linger, their defiance tangled with deception, their strategies sharpened by ancient rebellion, their downfall inevitable. The Creator remains, his love stretched beyond shadow, his authority unmoved, his story bending the oldest war toward redemption, toward peace, toward love unbroken. Spiritual warfare unfolds quietly, relentlessly, woven through every trembling soul, through every whispered prayer, through the unseen places where angels stand guard and adversaries recoil. The chains fracture, the giants fall, the adversary fades beneath love unwavering. And as we follow the quiet hum of this ancient battle, we carry this truth. The war may press close, but the ending belongs to love. The unseen war hums softly still, drifting beneath the noise of cities, beneath the rustling fields and winding rivers, beneath the steady rhythm of human life unfolding in ordinary hours. But beneath the familiar stretches, something ancient, a war older than language, older than soil, pressed beneath the weight of footsteps forgotten. Spiritual warfare. Angels and demons locked in an unseen clash, their presence woven quietly through the spaces where light bends against shadow, where hope strains beneath the whisper of fear, where trembling souls wrestle not merely with flesh, but with spirit. The scriptures speak softly of this sacred tension, the angels descending with steady loyalty, their purpose anchored to the hand of the Creator, their presence layered with both radiance and reverence. They arrive in forgotten fields, their voices layered with promises carried from realms unseen, their protection fierce, their wings veiled, their strength hidden yet constant. But the fallen linger too. The adversary presses close, ancient and proud, his whispers crafted to distort, his lies layered with rebellion sharpened by time, his hunger tangled not merely for kingdoms, but for the fractures woven through the human soul. Mary of Magdala carried those fractures, the storm coiled deep within her spirit, the chains of 7 demons pressing against her peace, their presence gnawing at the fragile corners of her mind. Her life became a quiet battlefield, a war unfolding not upon distant hills, but within the trembling spaces of her heart, where ancient defiance pressed sharp, where shadows tangled with longing, where unseen adversaries clawed at hope. But love arrived. The healer stepped into her storm, not with accusation, but with compassion vast enough to fracture the grip of torment, with authority fierce enough to silence the rebellion pressing against her soul. His voice unraveled the whispers of defiance. His presence shattered the storm. His love bent even the oldest adversaries toward surrender. Her freedom echoed more than personal peace. It became a reflection of the greater war bending quietly beyond sight. Across Scripture, the battle hums, the angels walking steady, their protection layered with divine purpose, their presence woven through trembling moments where faith strains beneath shadow. In the wilderness, the adversary prowls, the ancient deceiver crafting his lies, his defiance sharpened through rebellion, his whispers pressing against the edges of trust. Yet Jesus stands unmoved, his words etched in truth, his resolve steady, his authority bending the adversary toward inevitable silence. The angels arrive, their presence veiled, their loyalty steady, their protection woven through the fragile space where spirit and soil collide. Mary's chains fracture beneath that same authority, the storm unraveled, the whispers silenced, her soul anchored beyond the reach of shadows, once tangled through her spirit. Spiritual warfare presses close, not merely upon forgotten battlefields, but within every trembling soul, within every whispered prayer layered with both faith and fear, within the unseen corners where angels walk and adversaries recoil. The Creator remains unmoved, his love stretched beyond rebellion, his authority commanding both seen and unseen, his story bending the ancient war toward peace steady and unbroken. The angels stand, the demons fall, the chains fracture, the adversary fades, and as we wander deeper into this sacred clash, we carry this truth. The battle hums beneath the surface, but love commands the ending. The quiet hum of battle never truly fades. It presses beneath forgotten hills, beneath the drifting clouds stretched wide across the sky, beneath every ordinary moment where unseen forces move softly through the fragile space between what we witness and what shapes the world beyond sight. Spiritual warfare weaves itself into those spaces, the ancient clash of angels and demons, of light straining against shadow, of faith rising beneath the heavy hum of rebellion. The scriptures whisper of this sacred tension, the angels descending in quiet reverence, their wings veiled, their presence layered with fierce loyalty, their strength steady beyond what eyes can measure. They guard the weary, their swords unseen yet unwavering, their voices carrying the quiet defiance of heaven itself, pressed against the edges of fear. But the fallen walk those edges too, the adversary proud and ancient, his whispers crafted with precision, his defiance older than soil, his hunger bending toward the fractures hidden within every trembling soul. Mary of Magdala lived within those fractures. The storm coiled through her spirit, the weight of 7 demons pressing sharp upon her mind, their lies gnawing at peace, their presence woven deep into the fragile corners where longing and fear collided. Her life reflected the war beyond sight, the ancient battle unraveling not upon distant fields, but within the sacred space of her own soul. But love came. The healer stepped into her storm, not with condemnation, but with compassion fierce enough to silence defiance, with authority vast enough to fracture unseen chains, with presence steady enough to anchor her spirit beyond the shadows. His voice pressed through the whispers of rebellion. His love shattered the storm, his authority bending even the oldest adversaries toward inevitable defeat. Across Scripture, the battle hums, the angels walking alongside trembling prophets, their wings hidden, their protection steady, their loyalty bending every shadow back beneath the hand of the Creator. The adversary prowls still, his whispers layered with deception, his defiance sharpened by pride older than memory, his downfall inevitable. In Revelation, the heavens fracture, the dragon cast down, his rebellion silenced, his pride dissolving beneath the quiet, relentless authority of the one who commands both spirit and soil. Yet the fallen press close still, their strategies refined, their hunger tangled in defiance, their lies persistent, but their end is certain. Mary's freedom reflects that unfolding, the chains fractured, the torment unraveled, her soul steady beneath love that does not yield. Spiritual warfare presses not only across ancient battlefields, but within every trembling heart, within the quiet spaces where belief strains beneath fear, where angels walk and adversaries recoil. The Creator remains unmoved, his love older than rebellion, his authority commanding both seen and unseen, his story bending every clash toward peace unshaken. The angels stand, the demons fall, the chains fracture, the shadows recoil. And as we follow the ancient story deeper, tracing the quiet hum of this sacred war, we carry this unwavering truth. The battle may press close, but love endures taller than every adversary. The world turns beneath quiet skies, rivers winding along forgotten hills, forests rising tall, cities pulsing with life that moves unaware of the ancient hum beneath its surface. But the battle remains, the subtle, steady clash between what is seen and what stirs quietly beyond the reach of mortal sight. Spiritual warfare hums through every moment, the unseen war of angels and demons, of loyalty and rebellion, of faith woven through the fragile boundaries of human longing. The Scriptures carry this story with quiet reverence, the angels descending not with spectacle, but with steady resolve, their presence layered with radiance hidden, their authority pressed gently against the trembling edges of the world. They walk beside the weary, their protection veiled, their purpose unbroken, their loyalty bending every shadow beneath the steady hand of the Creator. Yet the fallen linger still, the adversary proud and ancient, his whispers coiled with deception, his hunger bending not only toward kingdoms, but toward the fractures hidden deep within the human heart. Mary of Magdala carried those fractures. The storm tangled through her mind, the weight of 7 demons pressing heavy upon her spirit, their defiance layered through every quiet space where fear gnawed at peace, where longing frayed beneath unseen chains. Her life became a quiet battlefield. The ancient war pressed not upon distant fields, but within the sacred corners of her soul, where shadows clawed at hope, where whispers of defiance tangled with every trembling breath. But love stepped into her storm. The healer arrived, not with condemnation, but with compassion fierce enough to silence the whispers of rebellion, with authority vast enough to fracture the ancient chains wrapped tight around her spirit. His voice unraveled the lies, his presence shattered the torment, his love steadied her beneath peace taller than every adversary pressed against her. Across scripture, the story hums, the angels warring beyond sight, their loyalty fierce, their protection bending every shadow back beneath the authority of the one who commands both spirit and soil. The adversary prowls still, his defiance layered with pride, his strategy sharpened by rebellion, his downfall etched into the bones of creation itself. In the wilderness, Jesus stands, the ancient deceiver pressing close, his lies crafted to unravel trust, his hunger bending toward the fractures within obedience. Yet the Son of Man does not yield, his word steady, his authority unshaken, his presence bending even the oldest adversary toward inevitable silence. The angels arrive, their protection woven through every trembling moment, their strength layered with quiet resolve, their loyalty steady. Mary's chains fall beneath the same authority, the torment dissolved, the adversaries silenced, her soul anchored beyond the reach of shadows. Spiritual warfare hums quietly still, woven through every whispered prayer, every act of defiant faith, every fragile space where angels guard and adversaries recoil. The Creator remains unmoved, his love stretched beyond rebellion, his story bending every clash toward redemption, every storm toward peace unbroken. The angels stand, the demons fall, the battle hums on, and as we trace its quiet echoes deeper, we carry this truth. The war presses close, but love endures taller still. The quiet hum of the unseen war never truly leaves. It presses softly beneath the footsteps of those who walk unaware, woven into the soil, into the shadowed corners of ancient cities, into the spaces where the sky stretches wide and still. Spiritual warfare does not always rise with thunder or spectacle. It moves in the silences, in the quiet places between dawn and dusk, in the fragile pauses between sorrow and hope, in the sacred space between what we see and the vast ancient clash of angels and demons unfolding just beyond reach. The scriptures whisper of this war with reverence, the angels descending with loyalty unbroken, their presence hidden from sight yet woven through every trembling moment, their protection pressed against the frailty of human longing. They stand beside the weary, their wings veiled, their voices layered with quiet authority, their strength steady beneath the hand of the Creator who commands both spirit and soil. But the fallen press close still. The adversary prowls, the deceiver, ancient and proud, his whispers sharpened by rebellion, his hunger tangled with pride older than the stars, his lies crafted to distort, to bend hope into fear, to press shadows into the fractures of human belief. Mary of Magdala carried those shadows within her, the storm gnawing at her spirit, the weight of 7 demons pressing sharp against her peace, their presence relentless, their defiance tangled through every quiet breath. Her life became the battlefield, the ancient war no longer distant, but tangled within her, where unseen chains tightened, where whispers of rebellion coiled sharp, where hope strained against defiance. But love pressed closer. The healer came, not with condemnation, but with compassion fierce enough to fracture every unseen chain, with authority vast enough to silence the whispers that clawed at her soul. His voice pressed through the shadows, his presence unraveled the storm, his love anchored her beneath peace that could not be undone. Across scripture, the story hums, the angels warring beyond sight, their loyalty steady, their protection bending every adversary back beneath the hand of the divine. The fallen linger still, their lies persistent, their defiance tangled in ancient pride, their fall inevitable. In Revelation, the dragon falls, the ancient adversary cast down, his rebellion shattered, his pride fractured beneath the relentless unfolding of redemption. Yet even as the war lingers, the outcome is steady. Mary's chains shattered beneath that same authority. The storm unraveled, the adversary silenced, her soul steady beyond the reach of shadows. Spiritual warfare hums through every whispered prayer, through every trembling heart caught between fear and faith, through the quiet spaces where angels stand watch and adversaries recoil. The Creator remains unmoved, his love older than rebellion, his authority bending both seen and unseen, his story pressing every clash toward peace unbroken. The angels stand, the demons fall, the chains fracture, the shadows yield. And as we wander deeper into this sacred story, tracing the quiet echoes of the ancient war, we carry this unwavering truth. The battle may press close, but love endures, steady, eternal, victorious. The oldest wars leave no footprints. They drift unseen through time, woven not into the soil, but into the fragile space between belief and fear, between longing and defiance, between the sacred hum of creation and the quiet whispers of rebellion pressing close. Spiritual warfare is such a war. The ancient, relentless clash of angels and demons, of faith standing against shadow, of love bending even the oldest adversaries toward inevitable silence. The scriptures speak softly, their words layered with reverence, with caution, with truth pressed gently into the sacred fabric of time. The angels walk steady, their loyalty fierce, their presence hidden, their protection woven through the trembling spaces where human hearts strain beneath the weight of unseen chains. They descend beside prophets burdened by vision, their voices carrying promises stretched beyond time, their wings veiled, their strength layered with both tenderness and authority. But the fallen drift near, the adversary proud and ancient, his whispers sharpened by rebellion, his hunger tangled with the fractures buried deep within every longing soul. Mary of Magdala carried those fractures. The storm tangled through her mind, the weight of 7 demons clawing at her peace, their lies pressing sharp against the edges of her spirit. Her life reflected the sacred war, unfolding not upon distant fields, but within the trembling corners of her heart, where unseen chains tightened, where shadows strained against hope, where the ancient defiance gnawed quietly at her soul. But love came. The healer stepped into her storm, not with force, but with compassion fierce enough to shatter every chain, with authority steady enough to silence the oldest adversaries pressing against her. His voice unraveled the whispers, his presence dissolved the torment, his love anchored her beyond the reach of rebellion. Across scripture, the battle hums, the angels walking unseen, their protection pressed gently against trembling souls, their loyalty bending the oldest defiance back beneath the steady hand of the Creator. The adversary prowls, the deceiver, ancient and proud, his defiance layered through time, his fall etched into the foundations of creation itself. In the wilderness, Jesus stands, the adversary pressing close, his lies woven with ancient pride, his hunger bending toward the fractures of trust. Yet the Son of Man does not yield, his words etched with truth, his authority steady, his presence silencing even the oldest whispers of defiance. The angels arrive, their strength woven through the stillness, their protection layered with quiet resolve, their loyalty unmoved. Mary's chains fracture beneath that same authority, the storm unraveled, her spirit anchored beyond the reach of shadows. Spiritual warfare hums through every trembling prayer, through every whispered defiance of fear, through the unseen spaces where angels guard and adversaries recoil. The Creator remains unmoved, his love stretched beyond rebellion, his authority bending both soil and spirit, his story pressing every clash toward peace unwavering. The angels stand, the demons fall, the shadows yield, the chains fracture, and as we trace the sacred hum of this ancient war, we carry this final truth. The battle may press close, but love endures taller than every whisper of defiance. The story quiets now, its echoes drifting like soft wind through forgotten fields, its hum pressed into the soil, into the valleys, into the silent spaces of the world where the unseen still stirs beyond sight. Spiritual warfare lingers, not as a storm upon the earth, but as a quiet, persistent hum beneath every trembling soul, beneath the fragile boundaries where faith strains against fear, where angels stand unseen, where adversaries recoil against the inevitable rise of light. The scriptures speak softly of this sacred war, the angels descending with loyalty steady, their presence hidden, their protection bending the edges of fear back beneath the unwavering hand of the Creator. They stand beside the weary, their wings veiled, their voices layered with promise, their strength steady beneath the radiance of love older than rebellion itself. The fallen linger still, the adversary, ancient and proud, his whispers persistent, his lies tangled with the fractures of human longing, his defiance sharpened by time, his downfall pressed into the fabric of creation. Mary of Magdala carried that storm within her, the weight of 7 demons pressing sharp against her spirit, the whispers of defiance clawing at her soul, her life bending beneath the quiet battle waged unseen within. But love came. The healer stepped into her storm, not with condemnation, but with compassion fierce enough to fracture every unseen chain, with authority steady enough to silence the oldest adversaries tangled through her life. His voice unraveled the torment, his presence dissolved the shadows, his love anchored her beneath peace steady and unbroken. Across scripture, the battle hums, the angels standing unwavering, their protection woven through the trembling spaces of faith, their loyalty fierce beneath the steady hand of heaven. The adversary prowls still, but his defiance falters, his whispers fade, his fall inevitable. In the wilderness, Jesus silences every lie. In the quiet places of suffering, the angels guard the broken. In the unseen corners of the world, love unravels the rebellion pressing close. Mary's freedom reflects the greater story. The chains shattered, the storm dissolved, her spirit steady beyond the reach of shadows. Spiritual warfare hums not as spectacle, but as the sacred tension woven through every trembling heart, through every whispered prayer, through the unseen spaces where angels guard and adversaries recoil. The Creator remains unmoved, his love stretched beyond rebellion, his authority commanding both spirit and soil, his story pressing every clash toward redemption, every storm toward peace, every whisper of defiance toward inevitable silence. The angels stand, the demons fall, the chains fracture, the shadows fade. And as we close this story, as we let the quiet hum of the ancient battle settle once more into the stillness, we carry this truth. The war was never in question. The battle hums beneath the surface. but love. Love commands the final word, steady, eternal, victorious.